my chatterboxes. This is my review for Marriage Boot Camp Reality Stars Season 17, Episode 4, Pod Clash. So if you guys haven't did so already, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. And without further ado, let's just get right into this review. So it starts off with like a recap of what took place last week when Hazel was basically confronting Shonda, saying that Shonda was jealous. And she said she was the only person doing her job. It was a job that they had to do, and she followed through with it. And she was like, if Shonda want to get into it, I'll knock her out. All this tough talk. And she was saying that as she was not in front of Shonda. Let's be clear on that part. But Hazel, you had an opportunity to knock Shonda out when she was hitting on your boyfriend for fighting her husband. But instead, you was pulling her away, trying to break her up. Like, that was your friend you was trying to break up in the fight. Not somebody that was actually putting hands on your man. So, we don't want to hear the tough talk. You had an opportunity to put in action, and you did nothing of the sort. So, miss me with the bull crap, Hazel. Miss me with the bull crap. So, we see Davon. He actually apologized to Willie. They, had an opportunity to talk. So in the confessional, Davon had said that if he had now looking back at things, if he had a chance to do it all over again, he would, do things differently. So when him and Willie, started talking, Davon apologized. Willie, I guess, apologized for some things that he did. He was like, at the end of the day, we brothers, they're sisters. We can squash it. So they squashed it, hugged, shook hands on it, and it was done. It's funny how when you put people in this kind of environment and you take the ego out of it, how people can actually mend those fences. Instead of like if this was on the street, somebody probably would have went and got a pistol because they couldn't take getting disrespected or something like that. So I'm glad to be able to see this on the screen and have people understand that they can actually work things out without having to take a violent turn, to something else. So then we have Corrupt and Davon. They were talking, and Davon was asking him how he was doing. He was like, he said, Corrupt will say, I think God sent me out to the hospital, and he was like, cause he know he need to chill out on all the alcohol. And as he and Davon are talking, so as they're talking, we see Phaedra and Tony talking as well. So Phaedra was saying how Corrupt looked good, and has he been eating? So Tony's issue is she says that she's seen this from Corrupt before. So she's not totally convinced that he got his shit together. And we all know he hasn't got his stuff together in the course of 24 hours. But it's good that he's at least sober right now so he can possibly, finish the task at hand and have, think clearly. So, we got to take one step at a time with him. He's an alcoholic. One step at a time. Out 1 hour, each hour by the next. That's how it goes. That's how it is. So we see Dr. Kitchen and Judge Toller, they're talking. So basically, it's going to be a drill today. They fight, and they're going to cause them to fight so they can see how they act in those situations so they can know how to effectively be able to help them. So they come up with a scheme. So they're going to have the producers in on the scheme, whereas though they're going to tell them this lie. I think the producer said something about they need to do some promo and they're going to set up for like a podcast. So they separate the couples. They separate, you see, I think it's Phaedra, Shonda, Davon, Tahiri. They're in a separate room. And then you see Hazel E, Willie, Corrupt. Oh, because Tony in the room with Phaedra and you see Medina. So Medina and Vado. So they're in the room with Clinton Sparks. He's doing a podcast with them. So they think. So they think the podcast is about their experiences there at the marriage boot camp, and some of the issues that's going on. But what they don't know is that Phaedra, Tahiri, Davon, Tony, that they can hear what they're talking about. So it starts off with Corrupt, and Corrupt basically, he said, what brought him there was the anger. Basically, he blaming on Tony. That Tony stayed angry. She's mad about his drinking. He called her an enabler. And I'm trying to figure out, Corrupt, do you really think that you're here solely for how she's treating you? You don't see any part of where you play in this? That in itself is the problem. That you can't see your fault in all this. Like, grow up. Then we have Vado. So he basically saying that Tahiri doesn't know how to talk to him. She talks to him as if he's a child. Hazel, she's calling Davon a clout chaser. She said she wouldn't know if he's a clout chaser. She didn't actually call him a clout chaser, but she wouldn't know if he's a clout chaser. So she, if he's just there for the cameras, she called him a sugar baby. And Davon was like, she's still on this sugar baby stuff. I already proved myself. He's under the impression that he proved himself, and she should. And he was like, so is it really how she feel, or is it her saying a joke? No, she's not saying a joke. She really feel this way. She said it more than one time. And that it's just the way it is. So Medina, he basically in there because of the sex situation. He pissed off about not getting laid, and he was like, it's not like he's trying to conquer her. He just want her to let him in. You know what I mean? And I think he's under the impression that she think he's this like soft guy, and because she made a comment that he doesn't make any moves. He's not trying to push up on her. So like, I mean, how the hell is she supposed to know what's up? But listen, y'all got to learn how to say what y'all mean and mean what y'all say. That is the worst kind of person, in a relationship, that cannot speak their truth. Because then they blaming you for some stuff. Then when you question them about what they blaming for, oh no, that's not how it is. Oh, that's exactly how it is. But you need to be man or woman enough to stand on it. I hate that. It's annoying. I guess y'all can tell that I've been through a situation like that, because I've talked with conviction when I speak on that part. That's the worst kind of man. I'm telling you, the worst kind of man. You could be doing stuff. You could be doing stuff right, and in his mind he making up things that look a certain way, and then when you questioning them on it, oh no, that's not how I feel. But then it comes up later in the argument. No, I asked you straight up. You should have been a man then and spoke on it. Like, come on. Like, I don't got time to be playing them games. They playing games here. And they too old for that shit. They too old for that. So, Willie, his big thing is the cheating part. And he was saying that he might have cheated first, but Shauna cheated, and he thinks Shauna cheated in retaliation. And Shauna said he act like he cheated and I just cheated. No, it was cheating on top of cheating on top of cheating. And Willie act like he don't get that goddamn going part. He trying to be, nonchalant about the situation, like it ain't a big goddamn deal. It's a big deal, Willie. You can't just be going around breaking this woman's heart and then think she's supposed to be happy. You act like she ain't supposed to be angry. What's up with you? Then they got the Vado ass. Something is wrong with Vado. I don't know what's up with him. Tahiri might be right about him. So they got the Vado, and they asked him, was he, talking to anybody else? And he hesitated. And Tahiri in the other room, like, you see the hesitation? So it comes out that he's actually talking to his child's mother about what's going on with him and Tahiri. And Tahiri ain't feeling it. And I don't blame her. I wouldn't be feeling it either. Don't be fucking pillow talking. Well, not even pillow talking. Don't be talking about what's going on with me and you to somebody you had sexual relations with. Because Vital feels that Tahiri, that she doesn't think that he, know how to express himself, or he talk, that she doesn't know who he is, because in that setting, he's talking, he's expressing how he feels, but to her, he doesn't say anything, because she said when he goes in the room, he doesn't say anything to him. So it's like a smack in the face when you're talking to your ex girlfriend about us, but you can't even talk to me about us. Like, come on, like, what's up with that, Vado? You do act like a corn. He do act like a weirdo. I ain't gonna lie. Like, he do need to grow up. I'd probably be over there if I was to hear him. So, listen, like I said, Medina. Well, I'm talking about Medina now. So he is saying that he thinks 6 months is more than enough time for him and Phaedra to have done the do. He don't want to push her away. I mean, by, keep pressing her and things like that. But at the end of the day, he got, he got needs as well. Like Medina, you know what I'm saying? Phaedra, I don't know. I don't know. I can't even really read Phaedra, because a lot of people saying that they think this is a made up relationship between those two. And it's starting to come across as Phaedra not really into him. That's what it seemed like to me, because I don't understand why y'all haven't went further at this particular point. I don't want to hear that, about your ex crap. I don't want to hear about that. I really don't. You know exactly what was going on with Apollo. He ain't hurt you and damage you that got that going much where you can't, open yourself up to another man. Get the fuck out of here, Phaedra. Get out of here with that. So, Dr. Ish, he was telling the partners to find their mate, because now they're about to reveal that to them that they actually were able to listen in on the podcast. So we see Tony tell Corrupt is really a mother effer, okay? He is a mother effer, okay? So he was like, so she was telling him, that they was watching, listening to, what they were talking about. He was like, what you mean? No, we were doing a podcast. No, wasn't really a podcast. It was part of what was going on here. We were in here listening. So instead of Corrupt like, words, that's what he should have said. He got pissed off at Tony and tried to like snap at Tony. And I was like, what the hell am I watching? Did I miss something? Oh my God. And for some reason, Corrupt like to keep saying Tony, he like to blame her anger and say she's always angry, and I guess he tried to justify his drinking through that. But she's always angry because she always had to look up after you, because you always messing up. So you're not looking at the act that makes her angry. You just looking at her being angry. You gotta look at the whole picture, Corrupt, okay? And the finger is pointing back at your behind, okay? So Corrupt, come on, I can't. So he made a statement saying that Tony had brought him to marriage boot camp, in the hopes of trying to fix him and not the other way around. So he wanted them to fix him for her, and he feels as though she don't feel as though she needs to be fixed. I'm not saying Tony don't need to be fixed, because like I said on my last review, Tony got some issues she gonna have to be dealing with too. But I will say this, Corrupt, Tony ain't gonna never be happy as long as you in this drunken stew that you are in. She may have to say goodbye to the relationship. She may have to. So Vado know his ass is in trouble. So here he called him a clown, which he was. He did a clown move. He did a clown move, because he gonna ask them, do they think he was wrong? And Tony was like, yeah, you was wrong. Like, You don't go talking to your ex about something you got going on with your girlfriend. Like, no, you was wrong. And Tahiri pissed off about it, and I don't blame her. I don't blame her. Listen, don't no woman want no man that's crying to no other woman about them. Don't no woman want no man that's going crying to their mama about them. And don't nobody want no grown man acting like no daggone child. And Vado, you striking 2 out of 3. We haven't heard that you talk to your mom about the situation, but who knows? You bad in a 2 out of 3 right now. You better get that shit together. So you get Medina and Phaedra, they're talking, and she was like, no relationship is based off sex. And he was like, I know. And he was like, and she was saying that how she can't, read them. So he's saying that he want to, respect her and things like that. He don't want to be different for the show, but he don't want to come across like he, weak as well. And I don't blame him for that. Phaedra, she could probably, if he don't assert himself, I could see Phaedra walking all over him. I really do, because she was, even Phaedra saying like this side of Medina, she ain't even recognized, and because he was like boisterous and really saying how he felt, and she was surprising him. So I don't know. I really like Medina from what I see on this show. So hopefully they can get it together. Phaedra might not be the woman for you, but hopefully you find somebody that is. That's all I gotta say about that. So then you see Shauna and Willie. They trying to have a conversation, and their problem is Willie not trying to take accountability for what he has done. He's keep deflecting. You know what I mean? And he's blaming Shauna. Shauna was like, you always call me angry, and I'm angry because of things that you did. And he was like, and he basically was saying that she was making his life hell and all this old bullshit. Willie. I think you may be misplacing your anger, your aggression, all that, because the thing is, she has the right to be angry. She has the right to be aggressive, because you have not once, but you have continuously cheated on this woman. Continuously. So she's not going to be waking up and the lingerie that you like, cooking you breakfast in the morning, packing your lunch for work or whatever you do when you leave out there. She ain't going to be doing all that, okay? You sticking it out with her, you're going to have to deal with the attitude. And that's just period and all that. So when Davon met up with Hazel, she was asking him if the sugar mama comments really bother him. And he was like, yeah, it bother him. And she was like, she really ain't care. She was like, because that's how she feel. And I'm like, damn, Hazel, you can, cut the boy some slack. Like, he's sticking it out with you. I mean, I think if he was like clout chasing too much, he may have not picked you. He probably would have picked someone else. So clout chasing doesn't come to mind when I see him, because you have no clout to chase. Just my opinion. That's all I gotta say. I'm pretty sure he could have backdoor his way into the internet popularity contest, like these social media influencers. I'm pretty sure he could have accomplished that without you. So I'm just saying. And he just gave you a baby too. So I really don't think he out for clout. That's just my opinion. You have no clout to chase. That's just that's my observation of it all. That's it. So now, Vado. Oh, they asked him if he did any thing with the ex, far as to get down. And he says no, but he says they still, have to talk. They still have to be around one another. And Tahiri, she was like, well, listen, I know y'all got to be around one another, but now she was like, I don't know her. I don't know what y'all might be up to, when I'm not, not around. He was like, she said she don't have that trust with him no more. And he did violate the trust. Davon said when he was talking to Hazel in the confession, he was saying Tahiri is too much. He was like, he would have been left her ass. And I'm saying, you don't think Hazel is too much? I mean, I don't know. Like, if I had to put Tahiri against Hazel, I would say Hazel is more hectic to deal with than Tahiri. But you know, who knows? So they doing this. It's not a competition. They doing this exercise. It's called head games. So basically, Shauna is going to act like she's Willie and vice versa. And the key key to this exercise is they really have to listen to what the other person is actually saying. And like we know from watching it, that's the problem that all these couples are having. No one's actually hearing what the other person is saying, but they so good at talking, but they're not good at listening. So we gotta listen. So we gotta see how this play out. So Shauna, she was saying, so just keep in mind, she's acting like she's Willie. So she was like, she get on my nerves. And then he was saying, so he is acting like he's Shauna. You always talking to bitches. And he was like, well, that's not what I'm. And basically, what he actually say out his mouth isn't exactly what Shauna is actually hearing. Okay. So then what she actually hearing is, you know how many bitches I got? And everything. So that's the problem between those two. Is always a back and forth about him cheating, her having to put up with it. And this seems as though Willie don't talk as much about her infidelities as she does him. And that's kind of interesting too, because normally males have like a real ego when it comes to that. So I'm surprised that maybe because he know he don't have no leg to stand on. So let me just move on from that because I'm rambling a little bit. So Dr. Ish, he kind of like stopped them on his tracks, and he told he asked Willie what did Shauna say, and Willie couldn't recite what Shauna said. And Dr. Ish said that's the problem. No, y'all not listening to one another. Like, to be effective in a relationship, y'all have to listen. That don't mean y'all. He said that doesn't mean y'all have to, agree with everything the person is saying, but you do have to listen. And he's absolutely right with that. So then you have Davon, and Hazel. So he's acting like Hazel and like, you better not leave. And she's saying, in his voice, it's chicks in my DM too. Like, and the problem with them is Hazel is kind of scared that they have real bad communication problems. He's real like hot tempered, and she's scared that he may get violent and actually put his hands on her. But to me, Hazel, you're not that goddamn scared, because you keep poking the bear with him. Not saying that he would be in his right to put his hands on you, because he would not be, but you don't come across as if you're terrified of this guy. You understand what I'm saying? And if you're really scared that he may be an abusive man, then maybe this not the man you should be with. I'm just saying, because if you see those signs, maybe you should, get out before you can. And that's just on period. So now we got Corrupt and Tony, and she's saying, I do what I want. No, he's saying, I do what I want. Well, she's acting like him, and he says, I do what I want. And apparently she like to say, I make my own money. I had my money before I was with you. I don't need you for nothing. And then his toxic trait is, once I guess she step off and she go, do her thing, at her own place, he calls her, do you miss me? And I'm like, and Tony was saying, she was like, no, I don't miss you. I don't miss the drinking. I don't miss that. She was like, what I need to come back to? I don't miss all that. But evidently you missed them because you came back because y'all at marriage boot camp. So y'all gonna have to figure that roller coaster out. Figure it out. Deal with it. Move past it. He get help. If not, you break up with him. Do what you need to do. But I'm sick of hearing about it. So then Vado and Tahiri. Vado, he tired of Tahiri calling him a kid. Tahiri saying he need to grow up. Well, he's speaking is up to Tahiri that he needs to grow up, stop acting like a boy. Listen, Tahiri, we seen how that relationship went with you and Joe Budden. He was one of those ones that tried to be controlling, manipulative, and things like that. So you probably ain't trying to go for that. Now you got one on a different spectrum. He's childish. He doesn't speak up. I mean, I don't know where the medium is. Maybe you need to find a new man. Maybe you need to work on yourself. I don't know. I don't know. We don't know. So now Judge told her she's coming in. And Hazel is happy actually about Judge Toller coming in because she says she respects her opinion. You know, she's curious as to what, advice she would give him. I like Judge Toller spin on things as well. I really do. So she was basically telling him the exercise that they witnessed today was talking and listening. And none of them really aced it. But Willie did do good. He did do good. So they had flashback because she was talking to Tahiri and them, like, because Tahiri was mad that Vado didn't give her the first glass of champagne. So they had flashback to that scene because he gave it to Phaedra. And Judge Toller wasn't so, on Tahiri's side about that. You picking fights, you picking arguments about little small stuff. Some stuff ain't meant to, fight about. You can handle that shit. When y'all go into y'all quarters. But so Judge Toller said to him, Vado, if you want a grown woman, you gotta be a grown man. That's point blank. Period. That's it. You end the conversation. You want a woman? Grow up. So, Judge Toller was pretty impressed about Willie. She said, he had kind of like a breakthrough. So, when him and Shauna was able, to talk, and basically she was saying, you can't fix it if you stay angry. You got to, when he throw you the ball, you got to be able to catch it. And they seemed to agree with what she had going on. So, let's see how they work out. For the remainder of boot camp. Then you got Phaedra and Medina. She kind of called them out without calling them out, because she was like, it's like y'all fronting and presenting yourself and came together to marriage boot camp, but y'all not together at all. She was like, so what, y'all just decided y'all want to just come to marriage boot camp? It didn't make sense. I think she sensed that something might not be 100% right with that situation either. So Phaedra was saying it seemed that they not marching to the same drum. No, you're not, because y'all really not even, y'all not a couple. Y'all not a couple. Y'all probably just friends. That's it. So now she started getting in on Tony and Corrupt. So she was like, listen, even when Tony was mad at you, she still made sure you ate. She said she knew what you ate. She knew what you drank. She did it all while she was mad. She was like, it was too much work. She said, you got to listen to her. You got to validate her. And you got to respect her. Because Tony got your back. Okay? And Corrupt, she put Corrupt in his goddamn place. Because Corrupt been getting on my nerves. Keep making it seem like it's Tony. No. Tony been there. Tony been there for you. You was an ass. You's an ass, okay? And that's when he was like, yeah, she's still here. She mad and all by my side. And I got a good woman. I don't want to lose her. You know exactly you got a good woman you don't want to lose. Because ain't nobody else putting up with that shit. Now that you're going to be two drunks in the house. And then y'all going to be fighting, tearing up. And all that old crap. We don't need that. So then we have, Devin and Hazel. So she basically got them together real quick too. Basically, you're not going to put your freedom at risk, your liberty at risk for doing something stupid to Hazel. And ain't nobody too bad for you to be doing all that. For it, I guess too cute bad, whatever she meant by that. And she absolutely right. Get your shit together, Devon. But Devon was saying how you know, Hazel always get mad at him, and she tried to treat him like a child. He was like, listen, you're not gonna let anybody treat him any kind of way, not even his mother. And I get that, but y'all both want some nutty time, to be quite honest. Y'all both want nutty time. Then, so they all left. Well, Judge told her she excused herself. They were all excused from, the exercise for today, so they were able to, congregate with one another. So you had, Medina. He was talking to a couple of the house guests, like I think it was like Willie and Tahiri, and them was right there, and he was like, I don't want to sound corny, but he thought that those exercises were helpful, and everybody agreed. He was like, it showed you how to be able to listen to one another, and everybody said that they thought it was helpful, that it was a good exercise. Then we see Tony. She brought Corrupt up some food, some chicken and steak. There she go again, mothering him, making sure he's fine. He could have got his own stuff to eat, so he do got a good one there. But I don't know. So then Tahiri, she was getting some advice from Willie. She was like, she really don't want to lose him, because if she lose Vado, it's like losing her lover, her friend. But she feels as though, he's not taking things serious. So Willie was basically saying it's worth a try to, try to work it out. So she got some stuff she need to think about. That's all. Then Willie, you see them in a room, him and Shauna, and basically they still on the respect factor. But he noticed that every time that they finish like an exercise or do stuff, the wording and the text messages and things it gets erased off the wall, which is a good thing. That means that y'all progressing in whatever y'all got going on. Then we see Vado and Davine. They're talking, and I guess Hazel got mad because Hazel was trying to take Davine upstairs. He didn't want to go upstairs, so she flipping out talking about, she flipping out saying, he wasn't the dumb people he just met instead of being with me and handling we got to handle. Hazel, what do y'all got to handle? So she storms off. She goes upstairs. He's talking to Vado, and, telling him, he's confiding in Vado. She goes upstairs. I guess she was a little pissed off, and it just came out of nowhere. It really did. So he ended up going upstairs. So when he goes upstairs, you see her underneath the blanket. She's talking to she actually talking to her friend, but he don't know. So he asking her, who you talking to? Why? And he was like, who you talking to? So he grabs the phone. And this is where she's talking about that violent shit at. Because he grabs the phone out her hand. And I guess he felt sorry when it was her, best friend. So in her confession, she's like, that's what I'm talking about. He gonna grab the phone. He felt sorry because it was my best friend. But you see, he already violated me now. Like, you play these little petty games with him. He acts out. I just don't think y'all are compatible for one another. That's just an observation from me looking from the outside. And you are a trigger for him, and he's already a hothead. Those two type of people, they aren't good for one another. So that's all I got for this episode of Marriage Boot Camp. If I forgot anything, please leave it down in the comment section. I'm a little tired tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. Please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to holler at your girl. Bye.